hello. Here we are for the first Monday's Music Seeds. So this is my way to be with you this summer. This summer I'll be quite active with activities and games and songs. So we're gonna start today with a body percussion activity, a body music activity actually, because it uses the voice and the movement. So when we talk about body music, we are using both voice and body, sounds on the body. When we say body percussion, technically we're just saying, we're just talking about the sounds with the body, without the use of a voice. So you probably have seen the reel that I have posted this morning, that I shared with you this morning. It's a very simple activity, but it's very, very effective. And I have used it in many different situations, from children with adults. And so I'm going to share, I've decided to share this one because it's very simple and it's very, you can change it really easily to use it with many different ages and many different groups, okay? So my intention was to give you something to try, very easy, you don't need a lot of preparation in body percussion to be able to do this type of activity, but you can have a good success with your group if you use it, okay? So as you've seen in the video, the activity is very simple. It starts with 4 beats that you can decide to use in different parts of the body. Usually when I am working with children, I am just doing the movements on my legs, okay, the first 4. But when I'm working with older kids, like teenagers or adults, then I'm standing up and asking everybody to stand up and stomp, okay? So when we are using the upper part of the body in combination with a lower part of the body, we need to be sure that our students or the participants of your groups are actually able to coordinate, because if there is not yet coordination, everything that is including hands and feet gets very complicated, okay? So better to start until children are about 6 years old to use just the upper part of the body and the voice. And instead, when you have older people, so they are already able to coordinate, or going towards coordination is not such as difficult, then you can also implement the feet and start moving in the space, okay? So not only standing in one place, but also moving around. So what happened with this activity is that when children are kind of already 5.5, you can modify this activity that starts with 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, how are you? This is for 3-4-year-old. And you can ask them to try different languages a little bit. You can go around your circle of students and ask, what language do you speak? Do you speak any other languages? In my class it is happening all the time, because in London there are many different backgrounds. So we try, and I like to implement to use different languages in my classes. So it becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, hola, ¿cómo estás? Or ciao, come stai? Salut, comment ça va? Okay, so we try many different languages. I learned, for example, that in Russian is paka paka. Goodbye, I think, is paka paka. So every time I try to introduce new languages in my classes when it's possible. And body percussion allows to do this very easily. So when kids are able to do more movements with their hands without getting lost in the structure of activity, and that happens when they are 5.5, 6, you can start asking them to shake hands, okay? So this activity starts when you introduce the hand in this way, then you're starting creating a lot of connection between people, okay? When people start touching each other, there is a lot more communication going there, a lot of different stimulus, okay? So the idea is that you do 1, 2, 3, 4, or you walk around, and then hello. When you say hello, people touch their hands, and then how are you can be here if the kids are already ready to move from this to this, or you just go hello, how are you? And when they are saying 1, 2, 3, 4 again, you ask them to do it in another language. Okay, so it becomes a constant stimulation from the teacher. Okay, so the teacher is giving new stimulations all the time, and this means that the kids are basically they need to be focused all the time. Sorry, there's my baby crying because she just woke up and she wanted to stay with me a little bit, but I cannot now. So it's going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, how are you? 1, 2, 3 in Italian. Ciao, come stai? 1, 2, 3 in Spanish. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Okay, so at the end of the 1, 2, 3, 4, even on the third or on the 4, you can throw in a different language. In this way, the children need to be constantly focused on what you're saying. There is a lot of working memory implied in this, and they have to, be there the whole time. And it's like a little challenge, and in the same time, you're trying to involve and include all the participants of your group. Okay, so I've done this in Italy many, many years ago with a primary school class, and there were people from a lot of different countries, and at that point, I have to admit the integration in Italy was not as successful. So some of Italian children didn't actually know where their other friends were coming from. And with this activity instead, we actually managed to say, hello, how are you, in language from different languages from Africa, in different languages from the Mediterranean area. So it was very, very useful. And for the first time, these kids felt that their past was actually important with a very simple exercise. That was a project that they asked me to do, which was about integration. So my main focus was actually to try to bring these backgrounds of the children in the class and in the music. So yeah, as I said, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, how are you? 1, 2 in Spanish. Hola, ¿cómo estás? 1, 2 in French. Salut, comment ça va? Okay, I am doing this, which means that the children are not doing this, of course. The children are, high 10, they're doing high 10 with a friend. So they're not just moving the hands up in the air, but they are actually making this type of movement, with someone else. Okay, so that's why also there is a lot of exchange and communication. And then when they are ready, you can create different type of movements of the kids, right? So we're starting moving the body in different ways. We don't sit the whole time, but we stand up and we stimulate our brain in a different way. Okay, so I'm just gonna turn my camera a little bit, and that's my kitchen. I'm gonna share with you that space because I need to move a bit more now, okay? So what I'm going to show you now, it's this. It's the activity by standing up. Okay, so you have a big circle, right? A big circle, you're working in circle. And then you start doing these exercises, asking the children to turn towards their left or towards the right, so they can interact with their friends even better, okay? So that means you can do still 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, the first one is with an imaginary friend in the middle of a circle. Hello, how are you? 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, how are you? 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, how are you? 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, how are you? Okay, so first of all, you have to give to each child, you have to explain if they have to turn right or turn left. So this means that they need to be able already to understand the difference between left or right, or at least they are starting understanding that. So you're starting kind of supporting that type of understanding, cognitive and abstract understanding, okay? So, for example, if I have a group of students, I would give to each of them a color, and I would say to the first student, you're the red, you're the blue, then the red, then the blue, red, blue, red. Okay, so each person has one color. And then you say, people that have a red are gonna turn towards their left first. People that have a blue are gonna turn towards the right first. So you can understand that to be able to do this, children need to be at least 7.5, 8 years old, yeah? And that's why it's important to understand what they can understand cognitively before giving, before trying activities. Because yeah, it's very simple for us, but you have to manage a group, you have to coordinate a whole group. So you have to have other strategies before, or have a very good knowledge of what children can do at the different stages of their development. Anyway, so I am a red, for example, I'm in red, and so I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, hello, how are you? And then left, 1, 2, 3, 4, hello, how are you? Middle, 1, 2, 3, 4, hello, how are you? And right, 1, 2, 3, 4, hello, how are you? Okay, I hope it makes sense. You can ask me questions if you want there in the comment, and I can just try to help you with this activity. What I usually do when I divide the group in red and blue, so I give a different action to different colors, different people, is that I only try, for example, saying, now only the red are going to turn left. And I count 1, 2, 3, left. And you will see just the children on the red turning. Or I do it now the blue. 1, 2, 3, 4, blue. And the blue, of course, needs to turn the other way, right? So the blue is here and the red is there. Therefore, they have a friend to play with. Make sense? Okay. And this is another possibility, so you can do this exercise, okay? It's perfect for older people, for even for elderly people. They love this type of activities, elderly people, yeah? Because there is a lot of things going on and they're like, oof, my brain is working again. I've done this in Spain with a big group of elderly people, and it was an amazing, amazing experience. Okay, and then we have a last stage of this, which is the most complicated to explain now, but I hope you will follow me. I'm going to make a little drawing to explain this exercise better. So the movements are always the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, hello, how are you? 1, okay, so in the next one, I am moving in one direction. Okay, so if there is a circle of people, means that every 1, 2, 3, 4, on the 1, the people is moving towards a specific direction. In this sense, is going to be the left. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, hello, how are you? And I move 2, 3, 4, hello, and I move again, and 1, 2, 3, 4, hello, and I move again, and 1, 2, okay. This is quite clear, right? We do this in many folk dances, so it's kind of taken from that idea, right? That I move right and left. In this type of exercise, you can introduce a lot of different languages. So 1, 2, 3, 4, hello in Spanish. 1, 2, 3, 4, hola, how are you? Etc, etc. ¿Cómo estás? Okay, every 1, 2, 3, 4, the people move. So the first time you just do this in a normal circle. Here I have my pen and I am going to show you my circle. Right? This is a circle of people. Now let's put a bit of people in this circle. There is a bit of people in the circle. Clear, right? And every time there is a 1, these people move towards their left. Okay, and when you do this, now you see it towards the right because we are mirroring. So when you do this, you can add different languages, as I said, and every everybody is shaking hands with an imaginary friend in the middle of a circle or with yourself. But if you feel very confident, you can perhaps jump in the middle of a circle and shake hands with the different people that are all around the circle, okay? I know that these are a lot of informations, but if you watch the live again and take down some notes, it's quite useful. You have a lot of steps that you can apply in your classes, and they are quite fun. People have a lot of fun when you do stuff like that, when you jump from one to the other to shake hands, okay? Then you ask half of the people to create another circle. Whoa. Create another circle around, yeah? So each person, now I'm doubling the amount of dots, of course it's never gonna happen. If you have a number of group, you have half people in the middle and half people outside, yeah? But I just want you to understand that basically what's happening is that every person is going to play this game, this activity, with somebody on the other side of a circle. Yeah? Like that. So everybody has a friend. Yes! Everybody has a friend. And this circle, the circle in the middle, when you say, let's turn towards the left, they're gonna go this way. But the people the people on the outside of the circle are gonna go this way. But the people in the middle of the circle is actually turning the other way. So you're gonna have two concentric circles that are not rotating in the same direction unless you want that. Okay, you perhaps want that, so you can do it. But it's more fun if you say, each person goes towards their left. So in this way, the circle will go this way and the other will go this way. Okay? So you're gonna have a little clock doing this all the time. Keep turning. So each person, when moves, is gonna meet another person. And in this way, you can create a lot of interaction, a lot of communication between people. And then they also, what's happening usually is that they get confused between right and left. So people are starting laughing, and whenever you laugh, you're kind of pulling down your barriers. Maybe you're a bit shy, or you don't have confidence with a musical language. You're not a musician perhaps, or if you're working with teenagers as well, they might feel a bit awkward about moving their bodies. So with this type of activities where there is a lot of things to do at the same time, speaking many different languages, moving feet and hands, rotating right and left, there is a lot of things to think about, something we're gonna miss, and therefore we're gonna laugh. And when we laugh, we start communicating much better, okay? We feel much more relaxed, and therefore the communication starts flowing much easier, much more easily. Okay, I think that I've told you everything about this exercise. I just want to point out, as I said, that this is a very simple activity, but it's super effective with many different ages, okay? And then the other thing is that you can change it quite easily. Oh, thanks, Dodo, thank you. You can change it quite easily and use many languages. That's the point of this activity, really, okay? So include all the possible people in your activity. Now I'll tell you a little story. So this happened in Tirana, in the Conservatoire of Music in Tirana, where technically there are the best musicians of the country, right? It's the capital, and you have a very big conservatoire. So there were we had perhaps 45, 50 people in this workshop when we went there with the music therapy school of Padova. So we went there and we led some music therapy sessions for them, because music therapy is still not yet very well known in Albania. So with the music therapy school of Padova, we went there and we did some workshops and seminars. And I had the body percussion one. So when we started, I was coming after a lot of workshops and a lot of very cool events with Música do Círculo in Brazil. I was following Pedro quite a lot, Pedro Consorti. I was doing a lot of vocal improvisation. So my type of workshops were quite, I wouldn't say challenging, but like for people that were used to do music in general, okay? So I could challenge them normally. So when I arrived to Albania, these musicians had no idea of what body music was. Oh yes, please Dodo, use it and let me know if you like it. How it works down there in Brazil. So anyway, this activity resulted like to be the saver that day, because I started my workshop like, oof, I'm gonna do these cool activities that I've learned in Brazil, and I'm gonna do some circle singing and some interaction between people taking ideas from improv theater. So I had a lot of things in my mind like, yeah, let's do body music in a very cool way for these people that have never done body music before. And when I started, I realized that they didn't have any previous concept of body percussion. So everything that I was proposing to them was way too challenging emotionally, not physically or musically, because they could do it easily. They were musicians, but they never had any type of interaction in that way. They never used movement to do music. They had a very strict classical background, and they were doing, perfect sonatas, perfect concertos, but no body percussion, right? So why, as a classical musician, should I start stomping my feet, clicking my fingers, and use my voice to say stuff like do-ba-di-da-bu-do, right? And then I remember, okay, so here I have to go a bit backwards from the things that I have learned, and I have to go a bit more simpler. I have to create a community. I have to show them what is it to do body percussion together. And I went back to this activity, which was one of the first activities that I've ever learned in my years of training as a facilitator. And the teacher that taught me this activities always said, this is a perfect activity to create your tribe, right? La tribu, or tribu in Espanol. So yeah, I said, I have to go back and create a community here. There's no knowledge of what is body percussion. People are not used to move their feet or use their voice in this way. Let's go simple. And wow, it worked. After this activity, the first half of a workshop, I was sweating and I could see that the people were not enjoying. And then after this simple activity, but super effective, wow, the response was like, come back, please. Come back, because in Albania, we've never done this before. We don't know what it is. It's so cool. We have communicated in different ways. So this is really the power of body percussion. But this, for me, was a big lesson as well. Was the first time in which I realized that you really need to be conscious of what is the background of the people that you have in front of you. Because even if they are musicians, that doesn't mean that they are ready to do body music or that they are ready to do body percussion. So it was a great lesson for me and also for the people that was there with me. We had this meeting at lunchtime. I remember we were like, it's not working, something is not working. And then I was like, guys, we need to create the tribe. And eventually worked. So yeah, this little story at the end is just to tell you that with a very simple activity that maybe is less fancy than our stuff based on improvisation and communication and interaction, you can still create very good body music activities and open your session in a very, very strong way. Okay, so body percussion is full of this type of activities, more structured activities, and other activities where instead there is more space for improvisation, as I said, or composition, which doesn't mean they are less structured, but still in these specific activities there is no much space for improvisation. Okay, so I hope you liked it. and I know that Dodô is gonna use it in Brazil. If you guys are gonna use it somewhere else in the rest of the world, it would be very good to hear your experiences and how people reacted to this activity. If you can take a little video and share it with me, then I will definitely reshare it, so we make this a very big community. And yeah, I hope you liked it. Let me know how it went. And next week, instead, we're gonna do a song for children 0 to 3 years old, so completely different. And then the week after is going to be 3 to 5, and the week after back to body music for children and adults. Okay, thanks so much, guys. Enjoy the rest of your summer or winter, depending on where you are. Bye bye.